Hey everybody, what's up? I am the special guest because she was not able to join me on Saturday per usual.
So I'm crashing the party on Wednesday.
She's crashing the party on Wednesday,
Instead.
which I'm very happy about. As you can tell, we're in a hotel. This is
Well, you
their.
can't necessarily tell. That doesn't
You,
say
you can tell we're in a weird
hotel
no, but
behind
no,
us.
but we're in a weird place, and it looks like we're sitting on golden thrones. This is their kind of strange conference room.
I did
And
not.
so
I had no hand in decorating this. I want you to know.
we did bring our own golden frames though to be behind us.
To be fair, it's not actually gold. It's a poster of a gold frame.
Yes,
So I'm
Tis true.
just saying. Just
it's
saying.
when you don't have your own golden frames, you just have to put in a poster. I've said that many times. Okay, so but let's get into the news and the fact that it is now illegal to be disloyal. As an American, I'm a little bit lucky that it's not the United States yet, although we're pretty fucking close. But no, this is Israel. Israel now making it illegal to be disloyal. Does this not sound like fucking, World War II Germany shit?
So this past Thursday, the Supreme Court of Israel. Can I just make a note that any nation that has a Supreme Court seems to have a Supreme Court that is basically a totalitarian,
Right.
like
Right.
figurehead of, not figurehead, but a totalitarian battering ram of that state that claims to be democratic. So, like, Israel claims to be the only democracy in the region, which is hilarious. And the US claims to be democracy or a republic, depending on who you talk to. Both of them are fucking bullshit. So I find that kind of funny that both of these nations that are supposedly so free have a Supreme Court whose job it is to crack down on human rights. So anyway, that side note,
their job is to protect the shit for the rich. When push comes to shove and you need protection, the Supreme Court's there to step in and go, whoa, these people are rich. Okay. Did we mention that? So yeah.
So basically, this past Thursday, Israel's Supreme Court ruled that the state can revoke citizenship of people based on, quote, breach of loyalty, a law that rights group says is a dangerous and illegitimate law, and they say will be used against not Jewish Israelis, but rather Palestinians, who make up 20% of the state's population. And the court says that the actions that could constitute a, quote, breach of loyalty or trust, which I don't know what the fuck that means, include anything the state finds.
We thought we could trust you.
I know. Finds as terrorism, espionage, and treason. And of course, this speaks to the vagueness, the purposeful vagueness of these laws, right? Which is, it's up to the state who made this law to decide what is distrustful or what is a breach of loyalty, right? So it gets to decide if you've done it, not anything based on your actions. So it could be something that you fucking tweeted about, or it could be that you were part of a protest, or
anything saying Israel's fucking murdering children. Yeah. Like any there's so much of reality you could just reveal, and then they're like, that's disloyal of you because the official IDF statement is blah blah blah,
So basically, the reason that this is in the headlines again, there is folks watching this might be like, well, if you're well versed in this topic, you might be like, well, wait, there is already on the books a 2008 law. It's a 2008 citizenship law, which allows the Israeli Interior Ministry to revoke citizenship based on breach of loyalty. So basically, there was a fight against this that went to the Supreme Court, kind of similar how something like this might go to the Supreme Court in the US. And basically the ruling on Thursday accepted an appeal by groups in the cases of 2 Palestinian citizens, but ruled that the law in question is constitutional. So they basically said that that the 2 Palestinian citizens of Israel can keep their citizenship, the apartheid state, but that the law in question is constitutional. And of course, these human rights groups, these Palestinian rights groups, just basically were saying that this law is unconstitutional, that this law is an affront to human rights. And the Israeli Supreme Court was like, nah, no, it's not. It's totally chill. So this is, they ruled, quote, that there was no constitutional defect in the arrangement that allows the revocation of the citizenship of a person who committed an act that constitutes a breach of loyalty in the state of Israel. That's a really wordy way of saying, go fuck yourself. We get to decide who's special enough to be part of this apartheid state, which by definition means that unless you're Jewish, Israeli, white Jewish, by the way, not the state of Israel is not fans of Jews with darker skin.
Well, and ironically, all of these laws are furthering the argument that this is an apartheid state. They're just like, we are not an apartheid state. Now put into the laws all those things that say we're an apartheid state.
Yeah.
Like,
so there's been a long fight against that 2008 citizenship law, which again was just ruled constitutional by the Israeli Supreme Court. And these organizations, Adala and ACRI, argued in the case that this is used specifically to target Palestinians and is not was never used against a Jewish Israeli citizen. So that kind of shows you. It's kind of like, what were you were mentioning this the other day to someone, that the open container laws in New York City are like never used against white people. They're only ever used against people of color.
Yeah,
not white people.
Matt Taibbi wrote a whole book about this called The Divide, which is a brilliant book, but it mainly focuses on New York City. And it mainly is talking about all of the arrests of, black and brown people of color, that sure, and many of them are breaking the law. Like, some of them are arrested for loitering outside of their own apartments because they were standing outside of their own apartments. But whether these things are breaking the law or not, walking with an open beverage, they're only used to actually just grab up non-white people and arrest them and put them into the system. And once you end up in jail for something small, often there are things that happen that end up keeping you there longer. So there's a lot of reasons that this system of, these tiny infractions can be used to create close to an apartheid state, imprisoning people that are not of the ruling, race or identity or religion. And in the case of the open beverage thing, it turned out during that time, during those years, 4% of open beverage arrests were white people. And do you think that's because white people were not walking with open fucking beer cans? Right. No. In fact, I'd say most of the people I saw walking with fucking beers down the street were fucking 22-year-old douchebag white kids. Like, probably most. Yet those aren't the people who get arrested.
No. And as an example of this law in practice, last year, the Israeli Ministry of Interior revoked the permanent residency of Palestinian human rights lawyer Salah Hamouri from his hometown of Jerusalem on the basis of, quote, breach of allegiance to the state. And then he was later deported. So this is something that has been used against, people that are basically telling it like it is, that Israel's an apartheid state and that Palestinians deserve basic human rights, and that it's considered a breach of loyalty to the Israeli state, which, I mean, that's true, I guess, right? Like, you are saying that I am not loyal to an apartheid state, and therefore the Israeli state is cracking down on this in a way that is truly totalitarian, which is why, of course, it's hilarious in a really dark and morbid way that they claim to be democracy.
And it creates a chilling effect on any type of protest, any type of actions, activism, anything, because you don't know when they're going to strip you of your citizenship and throw you, I don't fucking know where, just kick you to the curb. So I'm sure there's plenty of people. Yes, there are hardcore activists that don't give a shit that this law goes into effect, but there are plenty that probably would have joined and would have been a part of important actions in Israel, but are like, I don't want to appear disloyal. And of course, we're also getting to the time, which I've talked about many, many times before, getting to the time when algorithms can decide you're disloyal, even if you're not really posting anything that edgy. They're like, well, you follow a lot of accounts that say socialist things.
Well,
you retweeted something from the Venezuelan embassy. So the algorithms can decide you're disloyal, whether you're throwing bricks through windows or not.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The Israeli ministry is the one that gets to decide what is a breach of loyalty. So they have the final say. I mean, the idea of even going to court to defend yourself seems almost laughable, because it's like, well, if you're going to decide it anyway, why the fuck? I mean, it's really absurd. And correction, everyone, Hamori, the human rights lawyer, is on the road to being deported, but is currently being held in Israeli prison under administrative detention, a policy.
Administrative detention. That's the good kind of detention.
And by the way, I'm reading from Mondo Weiss, their website. They do great reporting if folks want to read more about this issue. But Hamori is currently being held in Israeli prison under administrative detention, a policy used by Israel.
Does that mean there's more clipboards? Is it more
against
clipboards?
Palestinians? And it allows for imprisonment without charge or trial, often under secret evidence. So, yeah, I mean, this sounds so fucking Orwellian. We've got secret evidence that there's a breach of loyalty here. Like, holy shit. I mean, I don't even think Orwell came up with this dark and disturbing, trite assholery. Yeah, so this is what's going on.
And I feel like
democracy in the region.
And I feel like Israel is often a test balloon for what comes to the United States. I mean, already they're doing many things that are like you're being disloyal in the United States, such as deleting RT or any censoring anybody who's truly anti-imperialist and truly anti-war and things like that. But feels like it won't be long till we see this kind of law on the books in the United States. And they have had it before, right? Eugene Debs was locked up for being anti-war, speaking about anti-war. So, and he was a presidential candidate. So we're not, we've done it before and we'll do it again.
Indeed.
All right. Well, let's move on to another topic. In 10 more minutes, this live stream will go to only rumble.com/Lee Camp. If you're already there, nothing changes, and it's completely free to watch there. So for those of you watching on other platforms, I hope you'll join us over there. Again, completely free to watch there, rumble.com/Lee Camp. All right, so let's get to another story. And this one has kind of crazy video.
We wanted to bring the visual aids, you don't want to come to a live stream without a visual aid, right?
No. I thought about having like a old school just piece of cardboard that I drawn on, but then I decided to do video.
Stick figures.
So this is about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and they've been working to clean it up. Many of you know that the Pacific Ocean, I mean, all the oceans are filled with plastics, but there is an effort now to decrease some of that. But this both shows how much plastic there is in the Pacific Ocean, but it also shows how little these efforts to clean it up actually do in many ways. I'm not saying they shouldn't happen, but I'm saying it's kind of the equivalent of you or me picking up the styrofoam cups that we see as we're walking down the sidewalk. So, all right, here it is. I didn't actually listen to it with audio, so I don't know what the audio is, but.
Oh, I don't either.
This is them cleaning up 100,000 kilograms of plastic.
Hold on, I'll play.
Please, quick, switch it out of metric.
I think we have been working for 2 hours right now, and it's going very, very fast, and everyone is just go all in. This is so nice to see. This is the spirit. This is the ocean cleanup spirit. Look at this.
That's
Yeah, this is working.
220,000 pounds.
So there it is. 220,000 pounds of plastic pulled out of the ocean. But hold on a second, as their tweet makes note of, this is 1/1000th of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And perhaps more disconcerting about this cleanup is that most of that is not
wrangled in a net.
Is not these large objects that can be grabbed up the way you're seeing there. The vast majority of that plastic has been broken down to something called, I believe, called nurdles. Literally, I think.
Stop, are you serious?
I think that's the word. Nurdles.
Nurdles?
Google it.
You can't go and name shit cute shit that's like really dark and
Pretty sure it's nurdles. But it's something like that. But anyway, so
yes, tiny plastic pellets.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
boom, 2 points. I just got 2 points added to my score.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things here. I do see your point, Lee. I am not an optimist. I am a depressive realist most days. However, I would say two things. One, I mean, what can we do about it but try to clean it up, right? And secondly, imagine, like, I don't know who the what is it called? The Great Ocean Cleanup. This company, the Ocean Cleanup. Now, imagine if every nation, well, let's just be nice. Every nation that is on the Pacific Ocean.
Hey, now people are calling me Nerdle for knowing that. That's not fair.
Hey, you should take that as a compliment. I was called a nerd the other day, and I was like, you know what? Thank you. So imagine if every nation that borders the Pacific Ocean put, whatever amount of, percentage of their GDP toward, like, half of discretionary spending towards cleaning up the Pacific Ocean.
True.
Because it's possible.
True.
I mean, yes, this is like, these are nets and things, but there are more advanced technologies that can clean ocean water and actually even get to the nurdles, if you will. And so there is technology out there that can do this. And there are people who have boats and things that can go out there and start, cleaning shit up.
True.
It's really just a matter of the willpower. And
if we put anywhere near like a fraction of our military budget into this, we could have a significant impact on it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And like,
it should be both. It should be a decrease of plastic use along with.
Oh, well, yeah. So here's the thing. I'm not saying that, fuck it, let's just clean it up and continue to dump in the Pacific Ocean. But we have to do something about the shit that's already there. Like that tampon that I used back in, 2005. I'm sorry, but that tampon applicator might actually be in the Pacific Ocean, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it.
Well, you should have signed it so you could find it again.
Message in a tampon applicator?
Yeah.
That's the name of my new single.
Wasn't that was the final movie in the trilogy of Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail? It was Tom Hanks, Matt O'Brien, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's on a raft in the Pacific Ocean. He's got a volleyball and he's looking for the tampon applicator.
He has the volleyball, puts the message to Meg Ryan in the tampon applicator.
Yeah, right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But the problem is Wilson gets away and he pays more attention
he got
to
distracted.
that. Yeah, gets distracted.
You really got to focus in those moments. But yeah, so there absolutely people need to be given alternatives to plastic. And I'm very clear on my wording on that because I think shaming in particular poor people for having to use plastic is fucking dumb. It's kind of like shaming poor folks for shopping at Walmart. It's like, well, what the fuck are they going to do? They can't shop at the eco groovy store in Williamsburg, New York. They don't have a choice. There's a Walmart and that's the only store that's in their area. And they buy shit that's, single use. So they buy shit that's made cheaply because that's what they can afford. So
but what kind of losers shop at Walmart? What about that? What about what I just said there?
works. I think
Yeah.
that's your campaign slogan.
Okay.
So the system needs to make it so that people can use other things, but also, as somebody pointed out to me a few years ago, let's say that all plastic was then made from algae. That still doesn't fix the problem in terms of scale, because then you'd have to have so many algae farms across the globe that you'd actually be poisoning a lot of waterways and a lot of ecosystems, because that amount of algae is not good. So it really is a scale issue. We have to talk about consuming less. And of course, that means things that are part of the oil food chain, which includes plastics. But that also includes, what we consider to be renewable resources. If you've got bamboo cutlery, that's fucking cool. But if everybody in the world was using, 3 sets of bamboo cutlery every day, that's not fucking sustainable either. So it's like we have to talk about consuming less on the whole, not just consuming less of the quote unquote bad products.
True. It drives me nuts when they act like, well, it's on. If you don't like plastic, use less of it. Well, yeah, you should try and use less of it. But no, it's on the corporations and the system that hands us plastic for everything we buy. I know how you wilt in the sunshine. Do you want to? Do you want to switch seats?
Can we?
Yeah. This is the first musical,
Please
chairs
this musical break, everyone.
on our podcast or live stream.
It's a million degrees difference. Hi, global warming.
Man, now
I told you.
Hold on, but it doesn't now look like I'm holy or something.
A little bit. Now, everyone who said that Lee looks like Jesus, you have your moment. You have your moment now.
What if I just sit here like this?
Do you feel?
Or what's the one with the new Da Vinci, the 2 hands and the orb?
I think it's one of these. It's like a Scouts honor.
I'll do it with a peace sign. What kind? Why is that what Jesus said? Walking around with his little fish bowl. Did he have a fish in there?
That was his pet. I didn't read about that in whatever book.
Da Vinci Code.
Bible.
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Well, it was in Da Vinci Code. Hey, folks, we're going to continue this subject, and we have at least 1 or 2 more topics to go through, breaking news to go through. But all the streams are going to stop, like coughing while you're peeing. They're going to stop in a second, except for rumble.com/Lee Camp. It's free to watch over there.
Can you really not cough while you pee? I thought it was just sneezing while you pee.
I feel like it's both.
Really? I know you can't
I don't
sneeze
know.
while
I
you
haven't
pee.
done extensive testing on this.
I feel like, everyone put on a lab coat.
All right, everyone hit pause. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, tonight, everybody, I need you to go and see whether you can cough and pee at the same time, and then get back to us. We're going to need careful data on this. Anyway,
Please no pictures, though.
No pictures. All of the streams will stop except for rumble.com/Lee Camp. So join us over there. It is free to watch over there. It is not behind a paywall. So please head over there. And we are going to continue. I wanted to say something else about this topic before we get to another excellent topic. What is our next topic? Not that one. It is the trade deal, massive trade deal, and how not transparent it is.
What? That doesn't sound like us. And by
But
that, I mean the United